So this will be for Starting Strong Seedlings Part 3. We'll be transitioning to our first full leaf set, and you can see that's actually happening now. We did a foliar feed last night about the same time, so it's been about 24 hours. So they have absorbed probably a good portion of that nutrition, and you can see that soil is actually starting to dry back out a little bit. It's still there's still some dampness down in the bottom, so I won't water yet. I probably will water again tomorrow early afternoon, and that will give them a chance to dry out a little bit more, soak up a little bit more of that nutrition, and then give them a good reprieve of water. Because one thing that you want to do after you do a foliar feed, and I find this applies to most plants, is if it's dry, you want to give them a good watering afterward, because that growth spurt takes off and they start burning that water up really quick. So a good watering afterward is good. Is that a native pollinator hanging out on the light bulb there? Not sure. Ooh. There you go. Sorry, paying a lot of attention to native pollinators as well as bees. So anyway, so I will probably just do an update every day on these plants since that foliar feed, and then that way you'll get a sense of a time lapse between them. So we'll just give you a good scan down over these seedlings, and I'll try and repeat this scan same direction and all each day so you can see. Alright, that's it. April 11th, 2019. So here we are, second day after the foliar feed. You can see some growth starting to happen, and plants look very healthy and happy as a whole. So just a quick update. And also we have germination on these aromas. So that's kind of nice. And so this is day 3 after the foliar feed on the seedlings. You'll notice the stuff that was a little more mature is starting to hit that exponential growth curve. And these jalapeno M peppers are really setting their leaves out. They're starting to put on a second set of leaves now. That's very exciting. The basil is coming along. Basil always looks really slow when it's starting, but you can see we're starting to put out a second leaf set on that as well. So things are perking along. These, well, still a little damp in the bottom. These are not too bad, but I think what I'm going to do with such a low germination rate on this holy basil is I'll pull the few that are in here out. I'll reseed this, soak it down, and start another round. Not sure why that rate was so low. Maybe I didn't get as much seed as I thought I did. You should have a close look at these tomatoes. These are the large cherries. First true set of leaves on, and very healthy, except for the darn whiteflies that just won't go away. Well, they will, but not until later in the season. Get out of there. Anyway, very healthy. Things are looking good. We're getting close to where I'm going to have to start transplanting these up to a little more soil. These are the beefsteaks. I'll give you a close-up of these. First true set of leaves out on those. You notice already we're developing some nice hairs here on the stem and on the leaves. That's a good sign. Those hairs are a good indicator of healthy, happy plants. Okay, well, so anyway, so this is day 3 after the foliar feed on the seedlings. Just trying to keep a daily update and track so you can kind of see progress. Also, these Roma plums are starting to open their first coat of leaden leaf set. That's that. I think this is day 4 after seedlings. Well, I'll throw it up in text. Anyway, just a quick update on the seedlings since the foliar feed. You can see we got good healthy stout growth going here. We got nice stiff plants that bounce right back when you brush across them. You can be kind of rough with them and they stay vertical. Good strong stem strength. They're opening up nice. These Hawaiian orange gold or Hawaiian orange marigolds, calendula or crankin. These are going to be beautiful. These get really tall. Maybe I'll throw a shot in, but they get like 3, 4, 5 feet tall and bloom like crazy. They're beautiful. The bees love them. Jalapenos, I think these are. Yep, jalapeno M. Those are doing good. Basil's doing good. Basil's doing good. Still haven't gotten around to potting those up. Anyway, just a quick update. I think it's day 4. April 14th, 2019. I think we're 5 days in from the foliar feed. If you recall, the foliar fed these beefsteak tomatoes, the large cherry tomatoes, the King Arthur peppers, the Hawaiian orange marigolds, the jalapeno M hot peppers, the sweet Thai basil, and the holy basil. So this is 5 days after a foliar feed, and you can see nice strong seedlings, nice strong stems. Okay, 5 days. Day 6, seedling update. Day 6 after foliar feed. They're cranking. They're very happy, healthy plants. Keep it on. Spring will come eventually. It's supposed to go to 40 tonight. And windy. April 16th. We're day 7. These are recovering. Got pretty dry in here today with the sun out. And I had other duties I was occupied on. So they took a little bit of a drought, so to speak, but I'm sure they'll be okay. I gave them a good soaking. You can see they were kind of curled over from the dry and the heat, but they'll bounce right back. It's only been maybe 40 minutes since I watered them, and actually these guys looked like these guys then, so things will bounce back. So we're 7 days in from a foliar feed. I have not foliar fed since that feed, so this is just kind of an example of the sort of growth you get. You can see we have really good healthy growth here. Nice strong stiff stems that are ready to take off for the season, and these are starting to get pretty good size. The next thing that we want to be concerned about with seedlings is making sure that there's adequate root space, especially for plants with tap roots. You want to make sure that tap root has good depth, because when a tap root hits the bottom and stunts, actually, I saved the sample here for you. When the tap root hits the bottom of the planter or soil and stunts, it stunts the entire plant's growth, and it has an effect over the rest of the season. This is the other avocado that was in a very small planter when I received it and had already hit this taproot stunt point. Pardon the radio. And had already hit the that stunt point, and I just want to point out, you can see the trouble that this root system had when that taproot bottomed out, and I'll show you. You can actually see where that taproot curls around here at the bottom. Sorry for the lighting there, but you can actually see where it hit the bottom of the container and started curling around looking for more space, and that stunted this plant tremendously, and consequently ended up pulling it this spring because it just wasn't performing. These avocados were started at the same time. Two entirely different results, and that's just based on their environment and care. Anyway, just wanted to do a quick 7-day update on this. this is what they look like on day 7. I'm going to close out this series of the post-foliar feed, and but we will track these in future videos throughout the season. So I hope this helps someone. If you have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to ask or comment down below. And thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network. So I just finished the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners next Tuesday night. It's about 10:30 or so. And came back out here. I'm going to try and transplant some of these tomatoes over to a little more root space. I'm going to try something a little different this year. I usually go into individualized pots. But I started these a little bit early this year, wanting to get into the season earlier, but we got a little bit of time left here. They're definitely going to be running out of root space pretty quick. So I think while they're still small and easy to manage, I'm going to peel them apart and basically use some of this mixed soil to fill this up and kind of do rows so they're separated enough that I'll be able to separate them later to transplant them. Well, I'll get into more in a bit. So how do I do this? Just like this. You go through from underneath, you kind of lift the plants out, and then I'll need 2 hands to do this. But you just kind of peel their root structures apart from each other and place them each in their own spot. Obviously you can go into small pots, or in this case I'm going into the bigger planter here just to get some more root depth and root space to try and push these out until we get past the danger of frost. So that's that. I'll do another clip. Okay, so I had an excess here and I transplanted 72 of those into here. I picked the larger ones with healthier stalk, stems, leaves, and root systems, so that we'll basically selecting for the best out of the batch. So 72, I don't think I need more beefsteak tomato plants than 72. That's actually a crazy amount. So these I may pot over to something else and save to share with other people, or I may just off them and reset that starter tray with something else, some other seed run. Yeah, so 6 rows of 12. You can see I basically just went through and poked a hole, dropped the root system in, and kind of pinched the soil back around them at the base. This soil underneath is fairly dense and heavy, so that should hold moisture a little bit better, and that should hold up to the higher and higher sun intensity and temperatures that we're going to be experiencing as we go into the warmer part of the season here. So that's that. This is just going to go back up underneath the light, just like the other rack was. I might transplant the large cherry tomatoes like this also tonight. I don't think I need any more than 72 of those either. This is kind of a small space for these, but that's kind of how I have to manage things given the size of the greenhouse I'm working in here and all the other plants that are in here. I want to pull some of these rosemary out of here and make some space in here, but I did that a little too early last year, and we had a light snow and a freeze, and they took some frost damage, and I don't want to put them through that this year. I lost a lot of growth and improvement on those plants last year as a result of that, so this year I'm erring more on the side of caution. Okay, that's it for now. So, same with the large cherry, same planter setup, same thing. Rinse and repeat. Ugh. Always with the rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. So there's about 60 large cherry tomato plants there. Those will go back right up top here where they were also. You can see that also brings our height up to the light a little bit more again, so that keeps our light intensity nice and high. Of course, I wouldn't count on just one fluorescent. I'm also using the power of the sun as well. If I were just doing starter lights, I would put a lot more light intensity here. I would do something like this, this light here, the T5, and I would do that, I don't know, I might handle 2 flats like this for that light to get good intensity. So anyway, those are transplanted, and this soil is pretty wet and heavy, so hopefully that'll dry out tomorrow. It's supposed to be sunny and warm, and that should get good airflow through here and get temperatures up and warm up and dry out some of that soil, so they have some air space in there as well. Alright, I think that's everything for now. This has been part 3 of starting strong seedlings, and we just made sure that plants have lots of room for root development. Everything hinges on that. Alright, thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe or comment, and if you want to get those notifications all the time, hit the notifications icon. Thanks for watching. April 17th. Just a quick update shot of these since their transplant last night. You can see they took very happily to this new soil and environment, and they're doing well. And we can actually see some new growth starting to shoot out of the tips. And I don't know if that's just because that they were ready to do their next growth stage, or if it's because they're in the new soil, but they're happy, well-established plants now. And hopefully we can stretch out in these planters long enough for the season to warm up and get them out and into native soil. Alright, that's really it this time. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network.